Hey guys, Retro here with all the classes you can play in Planetside 2. I'm going to go over weapons, abilities, upgrades, implants. So we'll start with the Infiltrator. Infiltrator is your classic sniper, It's got a cloak ability that allows it to go invisible. You can see it, but it's not very easy to spot. Designed to shoot from a distance. Now, you got your standard NC-14 bolt driver here. Pretty good sniper rifle. Hasn't got a ton of attachments, but it's got some pretty good variables for sights. Now you can get a suppressor, dark light, which is just, your standard flashlight, your forward grip, straight pull bolt. So basically you can stay scoped in and you can bolt, chamber another round. So abilities, basically everything is completely different for each class. You got your hunter, which is camo. You got the stalker and the nano armor cloaking. I haven't used many of those and I don't really know what each of them do. So here we have the light assault. Now, light assault is pretty self-explanatory. They use SMGs, pistols. They don't have a tool. They do have a jetpack though. Now, these guys are pretty important. Say you have an assault at the front gate, you keep all their attention there. You have a squad of light assaults come up over the wall on the other side of the base, and they are going to destroy anything that gets in their way. Now, I don't use them very often. Very rarely do, but I hear they're pretty good. So here we have the Combat Medic. Combat Medic uses assault rifles, and well, you can use mainly anything. I got the Kana JR unlocked, which is an SMG. Well, feels like an SMG, but it's actually an assault rifle. Then we have the Mauler S6. Now that's a shotgun. That's okay, but I don't really use it. Then we have the NC1 Gauss rifle. Now this is pretty good. It's your standard run-of-the-mill assault rifle. First one that you will unlock until you buy something else. Now, this is a good weapon. A lot of attachment choices, a lot of sights. That's what I love about this game. You have a lot of sight choices. I haven't got many barrel or rail attachments. Laser sight, increases your hip fire. Forward grip increases your accuracy. Dark light reveals infiltrators and lights up dark. So the medic has a nano regen device. Basically what this does is, its ability is, when you activate it, you start healing back your health, and people around you also start healing, which is, pretty handy ability. There's also the regeneration field, which you place down and it heals everything. Now we got suits. Now, a lot of these are pretty much the same thing every time for every class. You got your advanced shield capacitor, which reduces the cooldown recharge rate. You got your nano weave armor. Basically, it adds a resistance to certain weapons. Adrenaline gives you a boost for speed. You got more ammo, resistance to explosives, carry more grenades, and we all know, hey, people love to nade spam. You got your utilities. I'm pretty sure these are all the same for every class. You got C4, which is like a must-have eventually, because I can tell you, when you play as a medic and a tank comes across, you can't really do much. So, throw a bit of C4 on it, goodbye tank.
You've got this.
Now, back to implants. Now, implants take a while to unlock. I think they're just kind of like a random reward. Basically, what these do is, I haven't gotten many of them, but I think everyone gets enhanced targeting. Basically, it extends your HUD range, so your view distance for enemy name tags. It shows their health, and it also shows. Oh, that's it. Actually, sorry. And they use energy. So basically, to get this energy, you have to buy charges. I think you also can unlock them, but you only need to use like one charger, maybe for like 4 hours, 6 hours of gameplay. It's pretty good, actually. I rarely use mine. That's nearly everything. A lot of classes have tools, like, you know, the infiltrator has the recon detection device. Basically what this does is it shoots a little tag out, little dot thing out, and in a little radius for a few seconds, I think, it will spot enemies for you. And the motion spotter, I actually haven't used this yet, but as you can see there, if you pause it, it says everything it needs to do. Now to armors. I nearly forgot about this. The skins, as I said earlier, you gotta pay with them for station cash. Sometimes they'll have sales, like on the Armorish Forest V2 camo at the moment. Some of it is kind of useless. It's just, you know, customization. Then you got decals. Now you unlock decals basically for the Trooper. I've got some for like a couple of anniversaries for Planetside 2. Then you got, you know, like the Armorish Balloon, as you can see here. A few flags, all sorts of stuff that you can unlock. It's pretty cool, a lot of this. You'll see a lot of clans with like Trojan Trolls. If any of you guys are watching, g'day from Retro. My VS outfit. You'll see a lot of people with some random pictures. Sometimes there'll be a picture of like some movie character or something, or you know, something like that. Then we got your armors. Now, armors are kind of cool. I don't think they really give you extra health or anything, or you know, damage resistance, but they do make your character look pretty cool. Then you got helmets. I think most of the helmets are pretty much the same for every class. You know, again, station cash only, but you get a lot of options and a lot of the stuff. If you see the little anvil and hammer, that means it's been created by a character for this game. So, you know, you got a lot of choices. It doesn't make a big difference, but it does make you look kind of cool on the battlefield. A lot of people have these. I don't really see much point. I just kind of want more guns and stuff. Next is engineer. If you have a max on the battlefield, I cannot stress this enough. If you have a max, you have to have an engineer. I cannot stress this enough. Engineers are the only ones that can repair a max's health. If that max goes down, you guys are most likely going to get swarmed. They use carbines, which is, you know, smaller version of an assault rifle. They have a lot of weapons. A lot of the weapons yet, they look alike. Yeah, there's almost no difference there. But then you get all your custom weapons and stuff, and that's the stuff that kind of makes you stand out. They're pretty much the same, just like, you know, some color difference or something like that. One of the abilities is you can put down a sentry turret. Now, I haven't unlocked this. I've seen these around, and these are actually pretty good for room capping if you are doing a base solo or with a couple other people. If they all spawn in and they're going to come for straight for that point that you're at, you need to hold that. I'd recommend a Spitfire auto turret. You also got your anti-vehicle. Now basically this thing just starts shooting rockets. It's pretty cool. And then you got your standard infantry miner turret. Now, basically what this does is a little shield pops up in the front, which gives you plenty of cover. Pretty important to have cover while you're shooting this thing, because you're an easy target for snipers. But this thing can put out... It has an overheat, I'm pretty sure. But I've seen some people deploy some turrets in just the right places, and it helps. Now, I've gone over pretty much nearly all the abilities here. We've got the utility patch, which basically allows the engineer to deploy more C4 and stuff. It's pretty cool. Next we have heavy assault. Now, heavy assault is your vehicle killer, or your max killer. Gotta have a lot of these. They're great at anti-inf, and they're really useful. You know, they got a lot of rocket choices. You got anti-air, and like anti-tank. I think there's some even designed for anti-max, which is pretty cool. They've got the LMGs. You know, a lot of choices for weapons. You almost spoil it for choice, actually. You got your jackhammer. Now, that's a heavy gun. I haven't actually used these before. I don't really know what they do, but they seem pretty cool. Their ability is they have a shield, your personal shield that you usually have. They deploy an extra layer of shield so you can take more damage. Now with the heavy, you get munitions powers, which basically gives you an extra rocket of any type. Pretty important. Now here's my favorite class, the Max. Basically what the Max does is you send this thing in, it's basically like a tank that walks. You got your scatter cannon, which is shotguns. Pretty useful. And then you got your Falcon, which is kind of like a mix between a grenade launcher, rocket launcher kind of thing. Now, pretty much everyone gets the NS-10 burster. What this is it's an anti-air defense weapon. Now, awesome thing about the Max is you can deploy it and play it however you want. You need anti-air, you just buy the weapons and you just deploy it. You need anti-inf, put on some scatter cannons, and you're all good. You need AT, maybe use some Ravens. Pretty cool. I haven't used the Aegis shield, but it deploys a shield on your front, so you can't take damage from the front, but you can't shoot, which is the payoff for that. You got your charge. Now this is pretty standard ability everyone has. What this does basically, you just charge straight in to the battlefield. You just run. It's good to get places quickly. You got ammo storage, so you can have extra ammo. Now you get suit. You get kinetic armor, which basically reduces damage of anti-inf weapons from 80 to 81.5% at the moment. Then you got flak, anti-explosives, and then nanite repair. So you repair 0.85 every second, which is pretty handy ability if you don't have an engineer with you. Next is melee, so you just got max punch for that. That covers all the classes. Now we got the vehicles. Flashes were good. ATV, good for you and your mate. You can put some weapons on it, which is pretty cool. I haven't got anything unlocked yet. Two of them are pretty cheap. You can put on cloaking. Now, Flash with cloaking can just sneak straight into a base, and that's it for them. You can get a few of those squads coming in with these. Well, I'd be scared shitless. You got some composite armor and mine guard. They're all pretty self-explanatory. You got your performance upgrades, so you can increase the handling and hill climbing, your control, and your speed. You can only choose one of those though, and then you have horns. Like, you got your certs for vehicles as well. You get a lot of things for vehicles. They've really done it well. They've put a lot of work into all this stuff. Like, you can even choose RAMs, which is pretty cool. Flash antennas and shit. Next you got your harasser, which is basically a bigger version of the flash. It's just got a big gun, it can carry 3. Pretty much the same thing. You got your sunderer. Now, the Sunday is one of the most key vehicles you can have. Basically what the Sunday is it's a mobile spawn platform. Basically, you deploy this somewhere where they can't get to it, but it's really close, and you just have infantry streaming in. Now, you get 6 experience for every spawn. Now, if you're the only Sunday there, and you got like 100 people coming in, and they die every few seconds, it's a lot. A lot of weapon choices, as you can see. You know, like grenade launcher stuff. Same weapon choices for both guns. You know, you need to get this. Now, I'm pretty sure you have to unlock this, but it's the spawn ability for the Sunday. You got fire suppression, which repairs a vehicle a little bit. Gate shield diffuser, so you can drive straight through the gates. Now, you'll encounter a few of these things, a few of these gates for some real big bases like amp stations and stuff. Smoke screen, self-explanatory. You got some extra armor, a lot of stuff, you know. I don't have a lot of time to go over all of them, you know. There's a lot there. Next you got your lightning. This has 6 shots per mag, and you can change it for almost anything. Like, you got AT, AP, AI, and AA. It's different for each gun. All the abilities, I think, would be pretty much the same. But, like, you know, you got your anti-tank, as I said, armor piercing. You got anti-air as well. You know, a lot of choices. Here's your anti-air here. It's fast. It's really fast. It's also pretty good tank. You know, it's got fire suppression, IR smoke. It's got a lot of reinforced armor and stuff. These are pretty good if you just want to get somewhere with a bit of firepower. Sadly, they're only one person. Vanguard. Now, this is my personal favorite tank. Badass of a tank. It's only 2 people. But, you know, you got your gunner, you got your driver, and main gunner. Not a lot of choices, but there's a reason for that, because it is dangerous. It is scary. If I saw a Vanguard or a Prowler or a Mag Rider roll up on me, I'd probably be shitting myself. You got quite a few AT choices here for the gunner. You know, same thing as well. For every vehicle, is nearly all the abilities are the same. Change the appearance with decals and stuff, which is pretty cool. But they don't matter too much. They just make you a bigger target mostly. Next, your Reaver. Now, this is your dogfighter. Pretty good. It's got your front-mounted M20 Mustang. I'd prefer to have something heavier, but I don't have anything unlocked at the moment. You know, same abilities again. Pretty much. You got decoy flares, so you can actually use flares every 40 seconds so you don't get shot out of the sky by some anti-air. Ejection system. Now, I would really recommend this, because if you bail out of your vehicle, you will die. Simple as that. You got some composite armor, some auto repair system. That's going to be pretty good to have, and vehicle stealth reduces, you know, lock on time stuff. You got dogfighting, which increases turn roll agility, improved hover, air brake, and vertical thrust, and then cruising and afterburner speed. You can get a lot of rockets. I've been killed a lot of times by the Reaver Breaker rocket. A lot of people are douchebags and spam that. Next is your Valkyrie. I haven't used the Valkyrie much. It has 1 gun, I'm pretty sure, or maybe 2, maybe a front mounted as well. or it might just be the gunner control. I don't think I've even actually used this yet, but you know, same as everything else, same abilities. I think it's a small troop transport. I think it holds like 4 people if I remember correctly. Next, the Liberator. Your Liberator is your bombardier. Now, this thing is pretty badass, actually. If you get someone that's a real good gunner, you can just spam this thing for days. You know, you got a missile launcher. You got a big-ass tri-barrel cannon. And your grenade launcher. You have your front mount, which is pretty cool. You've also got an AP-30 shredder, which is, you know, kind of like an anti-air defense thing. A lot of vehicle choices. Now, your Galaxy holds a lot of troops. This is great if you just want to get up high and drop people from, like, the sky limit. It's got a few weapon choices, not a lot. I think it's pretty much the same for every single one. You got the Bulldog there. But it's got a gun on each wing there. One on top and one on the rear. The cool thing about this is when you drop troops, it will it gives them like kind of like a drop pod of air. It defends them. It's pretty cool. It's the only way people won't die when they drop out. You know, same abilities again. But yeah, that covers all the vehicles. And this has been my full in-depth guide. Cheers, guys.